Well, what's going on, everybody? Been a while. Been a crazy fall. Hurricanes, election, all that good stuff. Trying to put together content for you guys is definitely more challenging than you would think. But today you're coming along on a little sea trial I got. This boat is a boat that I manage and is also for sale. So I've had a few things done to it recently to get it up to par, and we're gonna take it out for a little sea trial today. It's a 370 Sundancer, Searay Sundancer, and here it is. She's a pretty boat, black hull, good shape. Lots of money has been put into this boat to bring it up to spec. So we're gonna go give her a little sea trial here, stretch her legs, run all the systems, and make sure she's good to go for a potential buyer. So let's push off the dock. One cover all on it. Let's go down in here. Some lights on. Turn some ignitions on. We're gonna get everything swapped over. We're gonna run the generator too, but I want to pop the, we're gonna turn the blower on. This is a gas powered 8.2 V8 Mercruiser boat. So run the blower a sec. We're gonna pop the hatch, make sure everything's good down there before we start anything. But it's a nice layout, forward setup, typical setup, galley on the port, master up front, nice little sofa area, and then of course this makes a bed back here. Get this hatch up. A lot of these have a manual latch too. Bilge lights. Somebody was on here recently, so I'm not really going to worry about checking fluids or anything. Just want to put some visuals on it. All right, let's go start the generator. So on these Kohlers, these older Kohler gas generators, they're a little funny. There we go. Turn the battery switches on. Port, starboard, and generator. 258 hours, not a lot of hours. Hit start. Or you got to hit mode rather, gen start, and then you hit start, and then it sends the signal. Come out here and make sure it pumps water. It's good there. Let's see if we can get some motors to fire. All right, that one popped off. See if we get starboard to pop off. Got good oil pressure. That's the first thing you want to look at. We'll step back here and make sure we got water, good water flow coming out the exhaust. That one's good. That one's good too, but yeah, she's a pretty boat. It's always good practice just to come here, make sure you can get it in gear and out of gear. Put it in reverse, all right. Port's good, starboard, good, reverse, good. Make sure everything's good, in and out of gear. Then you can come in here to throttle only. Throttle only's on, so when you put it in gear, make sure you got RPM. Leave them at about 1500 right there. Make sure you got throttle. But 2010 boat, look at all the gauge switches, pretty nice. Been taken care of. You don't normally see that. I don't see any leaks. Looking good so far. All right, I got the hatch closed. The motors are up to temp here, stabilized at 170-ish. So we'll go down here and get the generator swapped over from shore power. So the way I like to do that is make sure the air conditioner is off and make sure hot water heater's off. Anything with a major load, go ahead and hit off on the shore powers. We'll slide these over. It's okay if you leave the fridges on. They don't really carry that much load. Give it a minute though, you know. Turn the main breakers off, give it a minute. Let everything shut down. Generator, we got volts. Transfer on. Should be good to go. So let's go unhook shore power and throw some lines. All right, I'm going to start taking off any lines that aren't really doing much right now, like that one. Swing it over here to the side. The wind's blowing me toward the finger right now. Take this bow line off because it's really not doing too much right now. There it goes. I always like to just keep it steady there. We did that. Not really sure how that got to be a mess. See that? Don't do that. All right, we got one spring line here and a stern line. I'll leave that one over there because that's the first one I grab when I come in. Take that off, it's loose, we're good. And definitely don't leave any of your lines in the water. Make sure they all stay up on the dock. Zip this down real quick. I'll have to secure that here in a minute. All right, take it out of throttle only. All right, I'm gonna do port reverse just for a second, just to get the bow off the dock. We do have a fender back there, so the bow is now off, so I'll do port forward now. And just ease it out of here real slow. Now look, when you put your twin-engine boat in gear, make sure the wheel's straight. If the wheel's not straight, it'll dive one way or another really fast and it'll throw you off. So make sure your wheel's straight as soon as you start moving forward. All right, do port reverse now. Back to starboard forward. Let it come around on its own. Okay, back to neutral. We'll just work our way all forward. Haven't touched the wheel at all. Now it's diving to port a little bit, so that rudder may be just a touch to port. So I turned it starboard just a little bit. Back to port just a little bit. Now we're going to walk it, port reverse. A little bit of throttle. Put it all forward. Back to port reverse just for a second. Looking good. Now I can just use the wheel now. We're in open space, just moving forward, piece of cake. Checking on my oil pressures, we're good, temps are good. We'll see what happens. All right, this is the worst part about single handing is now I gotta get it in neutral, come out here and get these fenders in. These fenders don't fly away. Make sure the boat's not moving. We're just doing a sea trial, so I'm just gonna leave them there for now. Shouldn't be on the water too long. The most important part, don't fall off the boat. We're the only one here. All right, everything's running good. Back to all forward. All right, now this is a idle speed zone, obviously coming out of this marina, which this boat idles at about 600, 650 RPM. I've got it bumped up to like maybe 900, just to kind of keep our pace up. I mean, we're not making a wake at all. Just if you idle out of some of these canals that are real long, it'll take you forever. So it's okay, just bump it up just a little bit. Remember, it's all about wake, not speed or anything. It's all about wake. All right, finally made it out of the no wake zone here. Let's bump it up to about 1500. See what we got going on. All right, feels good. A little vibration. Last time we had a little vibration, we thought it was from excessive growth on the running gear. It sat a little while with the hurricanes and nobody coming out to clean it. So we got that done, and now we're gonna see what it does. 1500 feels good. Come up to 2000, 2200. 2500 feels good. All right, let's go to 3000. It'll be on plane here in just a sec. There it goes. She's dropping. Okay. What was that? All right, so coming up on plane there, the starboard engine threw a fall. There it goes again. It pulled it back again. All right, so it put it in Guardian mode really quick after I tried to throttle up on the starboard engine. Not really sure why it's doing that, so I'm gonna shut them off. There's port, no issue with port. Bring starboard back up. Okay, let's, you know, if you have an issue like that, all these motors these days are electronic. So restart them, have them come back up, see if that makes a difference. Everything's been done on this. We've had fuel pumps done, we've had risers, manifolds done, spark plugs have been done, so all the major critical things on these Merc Cruisers have been done. Let's see if we can get it up. It's running cool, it's got oil pressure. There's 2200 with the tabs down, so let's just let it run there a while, see what happens. All right, well, it came up on plane, the fault went away, which is good, but the starboard motor dropped off, it started overheating, and I have no water coming out the starboard exhaust, and stuck my head down there and figured out the belt came off, seawater pump belt came off, which is not good. I don't know whether it broke or just came off. I wasn't able to get all the way down in there. It's V-drive, so motors are facing backwards. They're facing the stern, so they're kind of hard to get to, especially when motors are hot. You basically have to crawl over the engine to get to them. So we're going to limp it in and back to the marina here. Make a call to my buddy, see if he can get this belt back on once these motors cool back off. I guess you'll get to see me put a boat in the slip with one engine. One engine, single-handed, no bow thruster. How fun. Living the dream. Yeah, I mean, idling back in here, I could definitely, once it cools down, I could probably crank it just for a minute just to get it back in the slip. Or I can walk you through how to dock a twin engine inboard boat with one motor just for the heck of it. So that's the plan. That's what I'm going to go with for now. And it's the only reason why I'm probably going to attempt it solo and not just put it on a field dock is because the boat sits on a starboard side finger, and with port in reverse, if I do it correctly and time it correctly, it should pull back into the dock finger fairly smoothly. And one thing about these Sundancers is they have small rudders and they have prop pockets. So the props and the rudders sit in a pocket under the hull, which basically means they steer worth a crap when you're underway with one engine and when you're trying to handle the boat with one engine at slow speed. The rudders basically don't do anything at all. Versus some bigger boats, bigger sport fishes that have larger rudders, sometimes you can get it to come around to the opposite way with a little thrust, just because the rudders are a good size. But this boat, you definitely need both motors to put this boat in the slip easily. But we'll see how it goes. You get a front row seat. All right, before we do anything, I'm gonna get the boat in the center of this canal, and we're gonna get the fenders out because I want to do this now while I have room. I don't want to get in there and have to make a fast correction because I left the helm. That one fell over already when I got it up on plane. All right, let's ease her in there on 1 engine, see what we got. All right, so we're about to make our approach in here. Definitely doesn't want to turn to port with the port engine in forward. Got it throttled up just a little bit here, but I know I can make the turn into the marina, into my fairway. I know I can make that. Then it's just all about timing when I pull it in. Starboard engine's cooled back down. We're back at 188. So once again, in theory, guys, if you're in this situation, if you got a cooler motor, you can crank it up just for a minute, get in the slip, shut it right back off, you'll be okay. You don't lose your gear because you lost your seawater pump belt, your V-belt. I'm gonna make a wide turn. I'm gonna be as much port as possible before I come to starboard here. And you gotta keep it moving. You can't really go, you gotta be in gear. You gotta have water flow over the rudder or else you'll lose your steering. So I'm gonna start my turn to starboard here. I wish I had a camera facing forward, I'm sorry. You'll see what I'm getting to here in just a second. All right, we're coming in the fairway, made the turn, okay. Now I'm gonna come hard port, and I'm gonna throttle it up just a little bit. Try to get that stern to start swinging to starboard. Try to get that bow over. Okay, which it's kind of doing. Now I'm going to get it in port reverse here. I'm going to turn the wheel all the way to starboard. Now that doesn't steer it. That just kind of helps the stern come over if you turn the wheel to starboard. I got my finger right here. So everything's looking good. The wind's going to help too. Looking good. All right, right about now, I'm going to put it in forward just for a second. I'm going to let things settle out. Once again, the wind should help. Push me over. I'm going to try to turn the wheel to port again. Turn the wheel to port and put it in forward just for a sec. The bow is coming over at the dock right now. I just got to get the stern back over. I probably should have hopped out a little sooner. I got a fender on the dock up here, so I'm just gonna use that fender real quick, kind of bump the boat over. All right, stern's coming. All right, I'm gonna make my go for it. One more shot of reverse here. Got the spring line. All right, I've got all my lines on except the bow line. So once again, with this boat, just get it to the dock. You can manhandle a boat this size. Can't really do that with, you know, 45, 50 footer or anything bigger, so. Let me go get this bow line. All right, we're all tied up. Let me shut down the port motor. We're back in, so let me just walk you through what I did. So as I came down this fairway with the port engine, as I was in front of these guys, I started turning the wheel hard port, a little bit of thrust. And what that did was it shot the bow out. Shot the bow out just a little bit to where the stern was starting to come into the slip. And then I put it in neutral, and then I did a hard port back down. I used that port engine to pull it in. And I actually had the stern about right here the first time, and it was close. I could have hopped off and I could have just manhandled the boat over. I was trying to maybe just get it in back in the slip just a little bit, but then of course, you know, when you do that port reverse, what happens to the bow? Well, the bow swings out. So then you got a whole nother problem. And the wind did not exactly push me over to the finger as much as I thought it would. So I had to wiggle it just a little bit more until I could step off the boat. One spring line, two spring lines. Let me hook the forward spring up. Oh. And this is the forward spring because it prevents the boat from going forward. And let's put some shore power up here. Make sure you twist it to the right to lock it. Good. Put these over here so you can shut the door. Our generator ran the whole time, that's good. I'll raise the hatch up for you in a minute and show you what's wrong with this thing. Okay, AC off, generator breakers off. Swap, swap. Shore power on. Slide. Well, yeah, shore power too. All right, we're good to go there. Keys are off. We'll turn the blower off. Generally, I like the generator to run for a minute or two after you take the load off of it, just to kind of help it cool down, get to its, you know, when you unload a generator, the RPMs come up. So, you know, let it run at that higher RPM for a minute or two, let it cool down, not underload. So we'll hit stop here, or we'll hit mode, gen stop, send. You can hear it shut down. All right, we're good to go. So let's raise this hatch and I'll show you what we got here. These big engine hatches with these electric rams, they always freak me out. So, you know, pop that down just in case. I think you're supposed to actually lay it back down and let it rest right there. Keep the pressure off of it, but let's see if I can get an eyeball on this thing. She's hot. That is for sure. So I don't know if you can see that right there. That belt came off. It either broke, I can't see it from here, and the motor's too hot to get down on top of, but it either broke or it just came off the pulley. Both can happen. So I can get a better angle of it over here. Yep, you can see it popped off. So that's definitely an easy fix. I could have, you know, if we were on a trip or something, you know, obviously you slow that motor down, get it cooled off, get a replacement belt or a new belt, and you can put that belt back on pretty simply. But you got to wait for these things to cool back down. I mean, there is a way to crawl over there and crawl back behind them, but I don't have to do that today. So let these things cool off to where you can work on it easy, but just always something. The boat ran good. It came up to 3,500 RPM before it threw that belt, so it was running. No vibration, so the growth was gone, so we were good. Pop that back down, put this hatch back down. All right, well, thanks for coming along on that one. I got in touch with the guy that works on this thing, and he's going to come over here and get a new belt on it, or put that one back on, one of the two. And then we'll have to schedule another sea trial here in a little bit, but needs some run time, and make sure it's good to go. So thanks for following along. Hope you learned something. Once again, it's always interesting out here. Never know what you're going to get into. So thanks again for watching. Please like and subscribe. See you next time.